Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where you can find all of your basic guides on Total War games. Today we'll be covering the Regiment of Renown units for the Vampire Counts roster. If you haven't already, check out my unit roster guide for the Vampire Counts, as this one will only cover Regiment of Renown units and their individual roles. It should be noted that I will not cover the stat improvements for the units, as all Regiment of Renown versions will always have improved stats. Comparisons to the normal variants will be shown on the unit cards below. Also, if you happen to purchase any games on the Epic Games Store, use my creator code WHITECHEETO. Sadly, it doesn't give you a discount, but it does give you a way to support the channel so that I can continue to keep putting out more content. The Tithe gained 30 unit models and an added 15% physical resistance. With more unit models and the added physical resistance, these zombies become a more durable tar pit for your front line. These will be utilized as your frontline tar pits and not much else. The Königstein Stalkers are a rather large upgrade compared to the regular skeleton warriors. They have poison attacks and much more armor, making them decent melee combatants. These skeleton warriors are much more comparable to grave guards than their regular counterparts. You should be placing these along your frontline formations. The Feasters in the Dusk gain stock and vanguard deployment over their regular counterparts, allowing them to be used as sneaky flanking units. You can deploy these in the corner of the maps behind the enemy front line in order to get into the enemy's back line. Their armor piercing is still quite low despite their improved melee stats, so you should still keep them away from armored units. The Sternsmen are beefed up grave guards with charge defense against all units and regeneration. If fielded, these should be placed at the center of your frontline formations to act as your anchor, behind your meat shield units like zombies and skeleton warriors, of course. You almost can't go wrong with including these in your army. They will outlast almost every infantry engagement and can endure longer than any other Vampire Counts unit. The Varix Reavers are the exact same as their normal counterparts, with the added effect of regeneration, making them slightly more durable in combat. Aside from this, they will be used in the same way as their normal counterparts, utilizing them for your hammer and anvil tactics, cycle charging to make sure they don't stay in prolonged combat. The Cho'Gaths are Hex Wraiths with a rather effective slowing aura around them, allowing them to catch a fast target and keep them locked down. Notably, they do lose the added fire damage of their standard variant, meaning they will only be doing magical damage. Due to their slowing aura, this makes them great for chasing down skirmishing cav and all other backline units. The Dire Pack are basically dire wolves with an anti-large bonus. They do not have anti-large charge defense and will suffer heavy damage if they are charged by heavy cav or monsters. Hold down the large units with some sturdier infantry or your meat shield units, and then bring the Dire Pack in to flank them and clean them up. Ideal targets are ranged cav, as they are fast enough to catch most of them and will kill them extremely quickly once in melee. The Devils of Swartzhaven are Vargeist that cause terror, making them an even more effective shock monstrous unit. They use their charge and high amounts of damage dealing in conjunction with frenzy to decimate their targets. They also have vanguard deployment, so they can easily sneak up on enemy units. These will be primarily used for rear charging the enemy front lines. The Claw of Nagash is pretty much the exact same as the regular Mortis engine, but it has the added chilling aura. The chilling aura combined with this damaging aura can be quite devastating when supporting the frontline engagements. The Sylvanian crossbowmen enable the Vampire Counts to mitigate their weakness, which is lacking ranged options. You would keep these behind your front lines and fire into the lightly armored units, as they do lack armor-piercing damage. The Sylvanian handgunners are extremely useful for taking out heavily armored units or monstrous units with their high armor-piercing missiles. Form a checkerboard formation or place them on elevated ground to ensure they can be fully utilized for their damage output. If properly used, they can dish out quite a bit of damage to the elite units before they can even get close enough to your front lines. So that about wraps it up for the Regiment of Renown units of the Vampire Counts. Hope you found it useful for your Vampire Counts campaigns. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you drop a like. Also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.